And here we are once again, proving that the age-old wisdom of "but it can always get worse" is somehow, sadly, exactly the world that we live in, okay? If you thought it was bad that you can't afford basic necessities like food and gas, that you have no chance of ever owning a home or any luxury item ever because, you know, that would be too greedy from you, you poor peasant. How about if we just pile on a little bit of AI slop onto that? We somehow combated the wokeness, but the AI slop, Microsoft will literally burn the world before they allow you to not use AI slop.
Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says it's time to stop talking about AI, quote-unquote slop, and start talking about a theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools. Wow.
Oh yes, I personally obviously want a microchip in my brain, so whenever I think poorly of a certain a certain place, it just gets shut down because that's anti-something. Okay, I can't personally wait when the thought police could literally shut down my brain, bruh. I have not understand this at all, honestly. Someone make this make sense. Why the hell would I be excited about a future where it's cyberpunkish? What? Why would I be excited about putting something in my noggin that can be hacked by someone and probably has a backdoor from Microsoft? Like, why would I ever be excited about that? Dude, listen. I'm for gene nullification and stuff like that, okay? You can have the brain chip. I'll be the poor rockman peasant without one, okay? Have fun.
Oh.
No offense, but it sounds like some commie gobbledygook.
Cognitive amplifier tools. I just love all the buzzwords and PR nonsense that this company can continue to
That's not a buzzword, okay? Cognitive amplification, aka slavery, is it's not a buzzword.
out. And then again, you wouldn't be $1 trillion company if you weren't able to just create terms on the spot like that, right? I mean, in theory, what he's saying could be true. I mean, this could be cognitive amplifier tools in the hands of geniuses, artists, and engineers, but reality.
I don't trust artists of understanding how to eat properly by themselves, let alone a cognitive tool in their hands.
Is this is gonna go into the hands of millions upon millions of Indian scammers pissing off Americans with fake rage bait. I mean, if you're on social media, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Based.
It's a mess. These tools are being used at their absolute worst right now, rather than at their full potential for good things. And here's Microsoft realizing, holy shit, we can't actually make a profit off of this tech. So now they're gonna force it down your throats with Windows 11, with Xbox, with their video games, with everything involved with Microsoft.
If you own an Xbox, you kind of deserve to be treated as cattle to a certain degree. I'm not gonna lie, boys. Okay, it is what it is. I'm sorry. It's just life.
I bet a huge sector of Microsoft's operation will be completely done by artificial intelligence. Welcome back to the channel. For Tango Plays here, your favorite.
I mean, YouTube's already governed by AI purely. You cannot get a person actually to interact with no matter what.
Illegal Mexican. No, I don't have any interest in being deported, but I do have interest in you helping me get this channel to 130,000 subs. We get to 130,000, and I will film myself at the border of Mexico eating a burrito.
I will not, but I would appreciate if you subbed and liked the video anyway. It takes less than a second. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who does.
I'm not even joking. Hell, if you have some suggestions, why not put them down in the comments below? As a matter of fact, why not
do at the border of Mexico, but from the other side?
get this video to 4,000 likes? Every like pushes us further in the algorithm. Sometimes you need popular shit talkers like me, because we're living in a corporate world full of plastic human beings whose toxic positivity is a cancer.
Yes, golems. Just call them golems.
To everything around us that we enjoy. People like their operating systems. Microsoft knows that, which is why it's the perfect product of theirs to force integrate with AI. It's blatantly obvious, it's not just Nvidia. Sometimes we forget to talk about the other elephant in the room, Microsoft, another
I never forget.
major player in the development of artificial intelligence. The less human they can make something, the better. That's Microsoft's whole shtick. The more soul they can suck, the more profitable they get. And here they are, doubling down, no, not doubling, tripling down on the very same tech that is going to completely destroy the computing world. So what was Satya really talking about? Merriam-Webster's word of the year for 2025 was slop. Well, it's a very appropriate word. The catch-all term for machine-generated.
Oh boy. Wait, don't tell me they actually got the definition wrong. Oh no, slop is anything just bad and stupid and dull and lame, not only AI stuff.
Crapola, or as Merriam-Webster more prosaically and politely defines it, digital content of low quality that is produced usually in quantity by means of artificial intelligence. Hard to argue with the pick, as PC Gamer's Lincoln Carpenter said, it was a year full of AI humiliation that started with a stupid AI-generated Star Wars video and didn't stop until the calendar ran out. But while slop is without doubt an appropriately defining word for 2025, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says it's time to stop. Oh my god, he legitimately said it. The Microsoft CEO literally
It is
out
funny.
and did the it's time to stop. Okay? Please leave our $500 billion investment alone. Anyways, he says it's time to stop talking about it because we need to move on to bigger and more important things.
You know what I love about this? I love this sentence because this is what every single one of these people who are in high positions of multi-billion-dollar companies that they do. Every single one of them who is absolutely borderline completely not human because they're out of touch. They have no idea how the real world functions. They live in their small, self-established bubble of yes men and whatnot, and they have no idea what's going on outside of that. And they think that they are unironically like so much better than everyone else. Which is funny considering the new CEO of Microsoft has been the new CEO of Microsoft literally for 5 seconds at this point. And this guy's already out of touch. This is exactly the play. This is literally a playbook, by the way. They all are like, it's time to stop because they think that they know better than you. And they're pissed that no one else does how they say because they are so much smarter and better than you. This is the most out of touch a CEO can ever be when they say, it's time to stop saying something that I don't like. It is insanity. Expect Microsoft to completely probably implode in the next couple of years. I have Microsoft stock. Not good. A lot of it, in fact, not good. Well, expect Microsoft to implode because again, every single CEO that has gone on record and said it's time to stop and insert whatever random thing they think that is not useful. They have destroyed the company they have worked for. They have made an absolute fool about themselves. They have implemented and done the worst, most nonsensical and useless things ever. Well, Microsoft with their AI garbage is probably a good tell here, honestly. So yeah, expect Microsoft to, well, kind of implode.
Yeah, bigger, more important things, Like what, Microsoft? Like trying to raise the price of video games to $80? Raising the price of 5-year-old
100
hardware? Attempting to force users to switch to Windows 11 while dropping support for Windows 10 users? Yes, much more important things. Like,
yes, let's switch to the Windows that was designed by a literal diversity hire. And by, again, not even joking, this is the story of the Windows that everyone hated. Microsoft literally brought in a blatant diversity hire from their ESG initiative, who was a black woman who had never used a computer in her life. and she was from America or something like that. And she got to design everything about the operational system, how it functions, well, not how it functions, but how it's used, the personal interfaces, all of it. So everything you hate is literally because of forced diversity. Oh yeah, and they probably are not learning from it at all. It is the craziest, funniest story ever.
How are they going to make this obscenely expensive and resource-sucking mistake generator that nobody wants actually work? We have moved past the initial phase of discovery and are entering a phase of widespread diffusion, Nadella wrote. Ooh, wow.
Oh wow, using some real buzzwords there. A widespread diffusion. What does that mean? Nothing. Nothing. It's literally a made-up sentence. This means nothing.
Wow. And in his SN Scratchpad blog, via The Verge, we are beginning to distinguish between spectacle and substance. We now have a clear sense of where the tech is headed, but also the harder and more important question of how to shape its impact.
Surely, I will trust the CEO of a company that's supposed to say only good things about his own company, that's gonna say good things about the thing that they are currently doing and banking on to work properly. I will trust these words a lot, in fact. So much so.
On the world.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Based.
Yes, we here at Microsoft, we decide what impact the world is about to feel. We're the rulers after all. And I'm not even joking, they probably legitimately think that way. And, you know, it's also reality. These guys do control huge sectors of the world. Never forget,
True.
Microsoft wants to live in a world where every waking moment of your life, you're reminded they exist. They want to be the first thing you see every single day. And they want to monetize that and gather that information in your...
You know what's the stupidest part about human existence? It's the fact that there are people who work in Microsoft who know this and they're like, this is not going to be that bad. It's not going to affect me. Surely. That's what they all say.
Brain and sell it. Nadella listed 3 key points the AI industry needs to focus on going forward. The first of which is developing a new concept of AI that builds upon the bicycles for the...
Yes. Let's have this thing that's called AI that we have, spend billions and trillions of monies into, and let's now completely redefine it because reasons. Wow.
Mind theory put forth by Steve Jobs in the early days of personal computing. Yes, Steve Jobs, what a great man to look up to. The very same guy who had this vision of restricted access and overpriced hardware. I don't understand why Steve Jobs is ever put on a pedestal. Like, I do not view this man as a hero. I don't view him as an icon of the industry. I view...
That's because you're not the lady from Theranos.
...him as a greedy corporate CEO who didn't actually have any real life skills. But whatever, I guess Microsoft is now quoting their former competitor now that he's gone. They want to start quoting him, eh? What matters is not the power of any given model, but how people choose to apply it to achieve their goals, Nadella wrote. We need to get beyond the arguments of slop versus sophistication and develop a new equilibrium in terms of our theory of mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools as we relate to each other. This is the product...
Wait. Is the idea just call it now cognitive amplifier tools because it sounds better than AI? It probably is. The buzzwords just don't stop.
Design question we need to debate and answer. No, we really don't need to move past slop and sophistication. I think that's one of the most important aspects of this tech. Not to mention that we've been arguing every other aspect of AI, beyond just whether it's slop or not. But the truth is, Microsoft knows AI cannot account for human creativity and artistry and originality. You still have to pay people to be original and create things and ideas. That's why he doesn't want you to distinguish the two, because what a human can
Yeah, the AI feedback loop is pretty much just all the colors smashed together, as always.
do is everything AI mimics. We have every single reason in the fucking universe to consider it slop, because its implementation in society has degraded it. Standards are getting lower and lower, not even just by the year, but now it's getting down to...
You know what's actually crazy? It's currently like the 50-year-olds who are trying to pretend that they're not falling behind the times, and they're like embracing AI and saying like, oh man, AI is so actually useful, I use it for my job and it makes it so easier. There are actually a lot of people like that, it's crazy.
To the month. Every month I'm seeing worse and worse videos, worse art, worse music, worse entertainment from
The music is just because...
people who use this tech. It also interferes with natural talent, natural skills, natural ways of thinking. People aren't going to be developing actual skills. And the last thing we want in our society...
Bro, kids have not been developing any skills for the past 15 years minimum, okay? I think it's a little bit too late to concentrate on the lost generation.
is unskilled workers. I understand where they see the benefits, but this company doesn't want you to call things that are clearly inferior to what's made by a human as slop, because that's what they want to feed to you. That's what they want to put on your plate. That's what Microsoft wants to serve you. So they want you to get accustomed to it.
As a React channel, I obviously am vehemently against slop. Only high quality content.
They want you to get used to it. They don't want you to distinguish what's better. The inherent assumption that AI collectively represents cognitive amplifier tools is immediately suspect. There's a reason we call AI output slop, after all and beyond it merely not being very good and certainly not original or creative in any way. There's a growing body of research, including one paper co-authored by Microsoft.
Ah, yes, the CEO of Microsoft is gonna tell you how you're wrong about AI being slop because of a research paper that was sponsored by Microsoft about the subject of telling you that their AI is not slop. Man, you know what? I'm sold, boys. I'm sold. Leave in the comments if you're also sold, okay? Because, I mean, a research paper? Oh, wow. I will obviously believe it.
Indicating that the rise of AI is actually making its users, well, dumber. Because it is, of course. I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with PC Gamer on their own article here. This doesn't happen too often.
Wow.
But they're right. There is research out there. I'll leave a link to it down below. AI is making people far too dependent on it, which is its whole goal. With a tool like that, people are forgetting how they routinely used to do things. And I know we all hate having to go through mundane tasks and whatnot, but those mundane tasks remind you of where everything is.
My favorite podcast style is Bald Man Interacts with Balding Man.
Is on your computer, where every note on your guitar fretboard is, where commas and periods go. Like very basic things like that. Things that, you know, don't impress us now, but are probably...
Oh no, that's actually true. At some point, Microsoft is gonna be... Okay. So we have this special hire that is gonna redesign the keyboard to be like a roller coaster. I would not be surprised. Dude, listen, the crazy thing about companies like Microsoft that are clearly fucking done, honestly. Because, again, the symptoms of collapse for Microsoft are kind of there. Now, I would not say that they're super prevalent. I'm not sure that Microsoft is at risk of collapse, but it's slowly getting there. Every day you hear things about Microsoft and their decision-making just sounds worse on every level. And one of the funny things about these giant companies, about their collapses, is the fact that they will find ways, because this is what the hierarchy of jobs and levels and whatnot actually is meant to do. The people at the top are typically the people who are the best, if super generalizing it, by the way. There's other factors also. But typically the people who are at the top of companies our sector managers, our division leaders, and branch managers, and so on, are people who are really good at taking responsibility for things that went well and minimizing or pushing away negatives about themselves. And everyone at Microsoft is probably really good at one thing, and that is minimizing poorly managed projects. And just keep doing it because you know exactly how to say, oh, this thing that accidentally cost us 10 billion and we lost it all. Not actually that such a big deal. It's great, actually. You know what? Don't worry about it. They're really good at that. So when you have a giant company like this that has money to burn, a lot of money to burn, and everyone in every sector of the company is like that, they will just do stupid thing after stupid thing without any consequence. And at one point, there's going to be a lot of consequence, but the thing is, no one's going to want to take any responsibility for anything. And something's going to happen. It's going to be funny.
Going to impress us in 40 years because people are going to lack those very, very basic skills. People are indeed dumber. It's insane. Like, I try to watch regular cartoons I grew up with, cartoons that had a message, that taught you math, that taught you how to read, that had storylines, characters with emotions, arcs, things like that I used to grow up with. My nephew cannot sit through. Instead, he wants to go straight to YouTube Shorts and put on randomly generated nonsense that doesn't make sense. You can't convince me.
You know what I have been thinking about? I have been thinking about, like, for example, putting some kind of, I don't know, Subway Surfers thing here just on repeat. That probably would ironically help retention massively.
That we're better off in the future where that is what the youth is consuming over actual art, actual literature, actual video games, actual music, all created by humans. Like, this next generation is gonna grow up not valuing a single thing actual human beings can do because they're gonna think the machine is cooler and better. Beyond trying to convince everyone to stop saying slop, AI companies will also evolve from models to systems when it comes to deploying AI for real world impact.
How can they convince people to stop saying slop if they don't even understand that we have slop generalized as in, like, I don't know, modern rappers, actors, Hollywood TV shows, gaming, wokeness, poorly designed things, and so on. And then there is AI slop, which is specifically AI slop. They don't even understand that there's two different categories of slop. And again, they will never make a stop because they can't even engage with the thing that they don't like because they don't understand it. This is the problem of being woke. You're too stupid to understand what you don't even like.
Nadella predicted we are now entering a phase where we build rich scaffolds that orchestrate multiple models and agents, account for memory and entitlements, enable rich and safe tools use. This is the engineering sophistication we must continue to build to get value out of AI in the real world. That's a PR talk for saying, hey, we're trying to figure out how we can replace as many of our own employees as possible with this tech. And finally, we need to make deliberate choices on how we diffuse this technology in the world as a solution to the challenges of people and planet. For AI to have societal permission.
None of these sentences make any sense. It's just buzzwords. Holy shit. None of this is concrete. None of this has actually any thought behind it. Anyone who thinks that this sentence has meaning, you're just actually subconsciously kind of figuring out what you think it means. Holy hell, this guy talks like Asmongold. That's insane.
Must have real world evolve impact. The choices we make about where we apply our scarce energy, compute, and talent resources will matter. Yeah, but you guys are trying to use it to make money. You're not trying to use it to make the world a better place. Let's be real. That's not your goal. You don't have any interest in creating solutions to challenges. You want to use AI to save budget, make money, and have more power
I mean, who can blame them after Call of Duty 7 flopped so hard? I mean, Jesus.
and control.
Hard times.
What universe does Microsoft think any reader is gonna read that and actually believe them? There's a lot of jargon and bafflegab in Nadella's post. Yeah, indeed, as you might expect from a CEO who really needs to sell this stuff to someone. But what I find more interesting is the sense that he's hedging a bit. Microsoft has sunk tens of billions of dollars into its pursuit of an AI panacea and expressed outright bafflement that people don't get how awesome it all is. Even though, you know, it's pretty obvious. And the chief result of that effort is hot garbage and angry Windows users. Let's not even get started on the Windows users. I might have to make an entire video. Like, I am half tempted to build a brand new PC, install Windows 11, and review the whole thing just for you guys. But that requires money, and I don't have any. Even if I did have the money, RAM prices are an all-time high because of fucks like Microsoft and Nvidia. Against that less than happy backdrop, and with Microsoft and other AI companies still gobbling up untold mountains of money with no end game in sight, short of the biggest financial bubble pop in recorded history, I suppose, Nadella concluded his missive by saying the continued development of AI will be a messy process of discovery. Messy. So they realize the implication. So they realize the harm that's
Man, he really tried to not call it slop.
gonna be coming from this. They know we're going to go through a period of suffering. Sure, maybe there's light at the end of that tunnel, but nobody wants to live through the worst phase of AI's integration into society. I know I don't, and deploying a very heavily freighted use of the word if. Wow, that's just very reassuring, Nadella, thank you. Computing throughout its history has been about empowering people and organizations to achieve more, and AI must follow the same path, he wrote. If we do that, it can become one of the most profound ways of computing yet. This is what I hope we will collectively push for in 26 and beyond.
You know what I don't understand? Why the hell is Microsoft actually going in the direction of AI? They have a quantum computer which can solve things faster than it's physically possible, because the only solution for how it can do it is pulling data from parallel universes. This is a very funny thing. So, you know, why do they even need AI? Can't they just create a supercomputer that can calculate and solve everything in an instant? It already works. They already have one.
Jesus, it would seem even trillion.
The AI thing is so insane, considering, again, Microsoft literally is one of the probably very few places that have a quantum computer that actually functions to a degree. And no one even talks about it. No one cares. It's all AI. It's all about AI making six-fingered thumbnails.
Dollar companies experience FOMO, because that's what this is. This is Microsoft experiencing FOMO. They're seeing Nvidia advancing in this tech. They're seeing Google advancing it. They're seeing Meta advancing it. They're seeing everybody's pushing for AI. Therefore, there must be some.
Oh no, was it? No,
type of security in it, because that's what Microsoft needs. Because Microsoft is one of those companies whose plan
Oh no, wait, was it Google who had a quantum computer?
is to remain as relevant as many years as possible. They want to go on to be one of those 100-year brands, and in order to be that, they need to quote-unquote optimize their workflow, and to do that, they're bringing in AI. These companies don't have patience.
Ah, yes. I mean, ask Exxon Mobil how that turned out for them.
They don't want to be left behind.
The answer's actually good. The answer's actually good, even though they got split into 100 smaller companies. One, that's never happening again in this world. Two, it's not like that actually stopped it from being a monopoly.
Everybody knows Bill Gates' obsession with the competition and how close of an eye he keeps on everyone. But basically, the war these companies are going through right now, we're the ones experiencing all the...
The only thing I remember about Bill Gates is how oddly happy he was that Ebersteiner died. Sus, if you ask me.
negatives of it. I mean, just think about what AI might even do to the human psyche in a decade. The way smartphones completely, permanently changed the human psyche in the last decade is something we're going to witness with AI. Or we're going to see people become less human. And they're already pretty inhuman enough as it is. I mean, our entertainment is also devoid of any soul. You hand technology to people like that who are already fucked in the head, on top of corporations trying to use that same tech to oppress you in your everyday life. It's dystopian. What a shitty way to open up 2026. Companies are telling you, stop calling it slop. Stop trying to find value. You have companies out here telling you, stop calling their billion-dollar investments slop. Well, fuck you. I will call it exactly what it is. We all know you play.
The moment you defend a billion-dollar company, you probably lost. Unless it's Valve. Anyway, that was for Tonga Plays 10 out of 10. Bye.